Hello there, everybody. I'm WaitWhat, and as promised, I guess I promised. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna go and see what that choice, just see quickly if that makes any difference. And yeah, you probably know this, but this is Dysfunctional Systems, Episode 1, Learning to Manage Chaos. Yes, I finally got the name down after the game is over. Whatever. Load. I'm going to rebel. There isn't a question about this. I need to stop him, or I need to try. If only to keep my sanity and knowing I did my best. I need to convince Cyrus not to go through with this. Oh, by the way, I'm sick. At least I have a head cold. I was sick all last week, so if I sound a little different, that's why. But it's not going to stop me, so let's do this. I won't follow you. I can't believe this. Are you even listening to anything I'm saying? Are you listening to me? No, you're just a kid. Ugh. Well, do. I have a lot of things to say to you. Alright, how about this? If you can seriously convince me that this isn't the right choice, novice, then I'll follow you to the bitter end. There won't be a bitter end. Not if I have anything to do about it. There will be a bitter end if he has his say. We know this for sure. Just shut up and listen. I'm listening. Oh, God. More choices. Inform him that this is awful. Question him regarding the frequency of his murderous behavior. Caution about the country's people and their potentially ill reactions. And because of that, I'm saving again. So, my first time through, I chose the wrong choice. Sounds about right. That one. Just how often do you do this? You seem to be very sure of yourself. I don't advocate to genocide so often, but I've killed thousands of times. How do you know it won't go horribly wrong? You're being so headstrong about this. It won't go wrong because I've been through the situation enough to know how everything will go. Yeah. This is a completely different world than any you've been to, though. You told me. Every world has some similarity or to another. Ours doesn't. Ours is just an exception which proves the rule. That's nonsense and you know it. I think that was a good start. He is at least certainly entertaining me now. I'll continue then. Military Bornation Cardia, remind him of the mother country Gabria. So you should not listen to. That one. Have you considered the president's speech? Honestly, not really. What? That's something you most definitely have to do before proceeding with negotiations. Listen! Well then, it's a good thing that I'm not planning to negotiate. We didn't even hear the entire thing. We got the deadline, and that is enough. What about his conditions? Doesn't matter. I've heard it all before, Winter. Nothing will be different this time. You're being so bullheaded. What if something he mentioned revealed the key to convincing him? Don't worry about it. In my experience, such speeches aren't so telling. Experience is not everything. It's better than nothing. Ugh, no matter how good my start is, if I stumble 1 foot in, then... Ah! No, cool it. This isn't over yet. Question the confidence he has in himself. Show him your determination. Insult him. I want to do that one, but we'll do this one. Just how can you be so confident? Are you even listening to me? How many times do I have to repeat myself? It's just, if you're so professional, shouldn't you be considering all the ways you could go about this? It isn't that I don't consider them. I do, and when I do, I determine how unlikely they are to succeed. Is that all mediation is to you? Operating based off of probability? It helps. Aren't all of our issues involving some manner of chaos, though? Even today, a new development completely blindsided us. Well, Winter, if I caution myself because of every single possibility, then nothing will ever get done. Things can be done, though. Not the way you'd like them to. Risks have to be taken, and sacrifices have to be made. If you want to dismiss plans, you can't just do it because you find them reprehensible. You're just a cynic. How should I proceed from here? I suppose the best thing would be to back off from more personal matters. Thinking of the worst case scenario, consider other options, deconstruct his plan. That one. Shouldn't you be thinking about the worst case scenario? What makes you think I'm not? Well, you seem to just brush off whatever possibilities I bring up. I think I've done well enough to explain why. But, didn't they tell us in class that it's best to be absolutely sure nothing can go wrong before we act? If I remember right, we even have to monitor the situation for at least 2 days after successful resolution to be sure of stability. You're right, but I doubt that we could cover all bases in this situation. I think it wouldn't be terrible to try to cover some. Well, it isn't just about that. With our time limit, it would be best to attempt a resolution first, and worry about the potential fallout later. Then you admit this could go wrong? Nothing is impossible, but many things are improbable. I think that with the situation we are dealing with, it is a very bad idea to not be a little more considerate of potentials. Listen, I'll adjust should the time come. What if it's too late by then? One thing you should learn, it's never too late to succeed in this job. You want to bet? If it isn't too late for diplomacy then. Winter, that isn't what I said. It may as well have been. I really shouldn't have to tell you how ridiculous you're being. I'm being reasonable. No, you're not. I just want to succeed where you have so clearly failed, sir. You really have quite the mouth, Harrison. Alright, what to ask next? I have to remember that my questions themselves can speak for or against my position. Keeping that in mind... Hold it. I can tell you're thinking of another question to ask me. Well, I'll have no more of that. It's about time I get to ask my own questions, don't you think? Is that your question? My answer is no. Now then. Don't get smart, girl. If you're going to argue a position, then you'd best be prepared to defend it. That wasn't part of the deal. The deal for you to convince me? What does that have to do with who asks the questions? Ah! What, worried you won't have a good answer? No, it's not that. Well, here it is. Why are you doing this? Huh? Well? Moral cause, just cause. No answer. Moral cause. He'll just tell me I'm being soft and need to learn that sometimes tough things have to happen in this line of work and we can't always make the moral decision. We have to think what comes later, type thing. Just cause is a game, and no answer is probably even worse than moral cause. Just cause. It's against the law is why. Hadn't I told you before that we aren't on Earth? It doesn't matter where we are. Isn't it right that ours is the only perfectly successful system in all of known existence? The code that I have been raised with has kept me safe, it has kept me well, and it has guided me here. The laws are bendable for mediations, Winter. So what? Order hasn't been maintained back home through the bending of rules. Certainly, if someone makes a move on my life, I may defend it, but that doesn't give me the go-ahead to start anything. That's it then? You'll stick to the rules no matter what? Until something proves better than the... Yeah, I can never say that word. Pisses me off. No, it doesn't. Don't care. I will listen only to them. I see. He says it with a hint of finality, which I take. I'm sorry, Winter. I can't, with sound mind, allow you to stop me. No, listen! While I respect your ardor, I find your position to be ultimately unfounded. No! If not that, you don't seem to be capable enough to handle any sort of resolution under these constraints. Sir! Whether you are for or against me, my plan will carry on with what little time we have left. Why? Why are you doing this? You're too naive if you have to ask me that. You idiot! You jerk! Ass! I hate you! I hate you! You're a beast! You're a wretched and abhorrent thing! Are you done? Can I just let it end like this? Wait! There's still something I can do. I can literally force him with the one command he's allowed me. Should I even do that? I followed his rules and lost the argument. Force him? No, I'm doing it. I'm going to make him change his plans. Listen, Cyrus. What? I command you not kill the president and to try something else instead. What? What? Did you forget already? You forced me to drink beer, so I can force you to do this. Really? I don't think that compares. What does it matter if it compares? We have a deal. Winter, we don't have time for this. You're right, we don't, so stop stalling and just listen to me. Cyrus falls into a quiet state of serious thought, as if he has any ability to worm out of this. You simply cannot break a promise. After a good amount of seconds, he finally yields. Understood. We'll find some other way to do this. You bet that we will. I won't have it any other way. Got that? Yeah, I got it. Are you ready then? We wasted quite a bit of time with that debate. I am. Alright, consider the mediation underway. I nod with strength and certain gravitas. I am not overjoyed by any means at my success. However, I feel a kind of relief in knowing no one will be murdered here. So, is that good? Is there no way for me to actually convince him? I just have to use my power of do whatever I tell you over him? Whatever. If anything, I am most certainly confident. I managed to get Cyrus, as stubborn as an ox, to listen to me. If I can do that, what do I have to worry about? So, where's the president? Good question. We'll need to find out. We don't have the location of the presidential office's log, so maybe we'll head to a library. At least it should offer easy internet access. I giggled at the irony. Cyrus is thoroughly unamused. Do we know where there's a library? In a minute. He looks away from me, and I follow his cue. As it turns out, many people have started filing into the streets, pale-faced and shaken. I should say, the few people who I've seen during my time here have all had familiar looks of wariness on their faces, but they've always nonetheless greeted me with a smile. These people do not have the strength to even do so much. I imagine that speech must be over now, and what was said quite disturbing. Cyrus breaks away and strolls over to an older person, his expression stern. After a half-minute of serious-looking chatter, he returns, walking straight past me upon reaching me. Come on, let's go. So am I playing through this game again? Okay. We haven't been here for very long, but I've already relaxed. Cyrus hasn't, though. He's hunched over a keyboard and monitor. In a situation less strict with time, I think I'd like to try reading some of these books. Their stories must be very odd. So roles are reversed. Before, Cyrus was the one that was calm and knowing what he was doing, and Winter was very stressed and keeping everything inside. Now it's the opposite. Winter's kind of calm because she won, and Cyrus is all just like, well, screw this. I hate my life. Stupid 14-year-old girl. She was 14, right? Yeah, something like that. Fiction is written from reality, right? Then by that notion, I may only assume that there have been books about economy and wartime shenanigans. While an unpleasant thought to ponder, I have to admit that I'm curious. Alright. Alright. I got the coordinates for his office. Found the presidential building's floor plan pretty easily. Looks like he really is a figurehead. Practically a tourist attraction. Or he would be. I should mention that I actually found the information on a site for tourism. In a less desperate situation, that would have made me laugh. Well, no matter. This is it. Are you prepared? The location data has been sent to your ICD. We'll be off when you're ready. I told you I was before. You're still? Of course. My blood is burning fast and everything. What a ridiculous question. After that gauntlet earlier, what isn't there that I can weather? Alright, but if you get worried at all the dangers, remember that I'm here. I'll make sure you're safe. In a show of what I think is supposed to be reassurance, Cyrus displays a weapon for me from his inventory. A gun, I think. I do not take it very well. An understatement, if I've ever thought one. I almost have a breakdown at the sight of it. Image and reality are very much separate things, and I was beginning to think these guns didn't exist. I was hoping they didn't exist. In his presence, I feel myself shrinking, and I can only hope I will pump back up in the next minute or two. I can't be cowering at the climax, can I? I shake my head quickly. We'll shift in 5. Awesome. That's awesome. I start breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, slowly, trying to quell my heartbeat. Within 5. It is mostly successful. Surprising. With today's record, one would imagine I'd be having a fit right about now. Oh, and one more thing. Huh? Don't say a word. Well, WTF? Alright. I sort of wanted to speak too, although I guess that is asking for a bit too much. Putting me in charge of this situation would be a bad idea. I'm gonna save here. Save. We're going right. I don't even remember what this... Oh, okay. Saving there. We're resuming. I can understand the fact. I am not that stubborn and foolish. It appears that Cyrus thinks otherwise, however, as upon our arrival here, he immediately puts a finger across my lips. I frown behind it, but am mostly alright with it. He starts glancing about the room, and I bounce my gaze around as well. There's a desk, a crest, flags, a man at the window, a video camera, presumably to make addresses with, and other things. Is that a radio I hear? Well, the man is the President Barnaby, I assume. In my peripheral vision, I see Cyrus raising his weapon. You douchebag! Wait! There's no call for that. That man's alone, Cyrus. Stop it. What are you doing? Don't shoot him, you idiot. Oh my goodness, he's still raising it. I don't want to see a man get shot. It sounds nauseating, frightening, horrible. My lips tremble, and he puts his entire palm over my mouth. I catch myself in confliction, wanting to cry out and stop him, but not wanting to give our presence away. I take to grabbing at the side of his hand and gripping his skin with my nails, trying to pry him off. It's unsuccessful, of course. I can hardly budge his hand. Getting desperate, I try to bite him and only end up awkwardly licking his fingers. Well, that's just kind of... At this, he trembles, his cheeks change shade, and he briefly glares at me. Oh, God. He squeezes my face shut. He aims at the president, and finally, with willful strength, I manage to wrench his hand from my face and shout, "Don't shoot him! Don't move!" Having been spoken at once, it ultimately sounds like, "Don't move him!" Noticing what I've done, Cyrus harshly addresses me under his breath. What did I just say, Winter? I push his arm away from me and glare at him, a glare that says, "I thought you were going to shoot him." Now what's all this? The president has turned and is now looking at us. I screwed up. Hey, no, wait! Cyrus might have really been about to shoot him. Also, what was he doing holding me like that? What sort of plan was he making? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you didn't hear me right just now. I said not to move. Well then, I do apologize for my misunderstanding. Right, well, now you know. Okay. Going to say anything more anytime soon? I can't believe we're seriously having an awkward silence here of all places. I mean, really. It takes what feels like minutes before Barnaby decides to break the mood. You're here to kill me, I suppose? No, I've actually come to talk. To talk? His eyes drift from Cyrus to me, and I have no idea what else to do but quake under his gaze. He is foreboding in his oldness. So much for confidence. I don't believe guns can speak. Cute. Just consider the weapon some insurance. It's no real concern anyway. He looks away from me and back to Cyrus, an action that relaxes my shoulders. Well, I've got to say, I was expecting someone to come for me with a gun, but the girl is a surprise. I'm probably not in any position to be asking questions, but I just have to know what you meant to accomplish in bringing her here. She has to be here, and that's all you need to know. Well, alright. So, where are the guards? They're looking after things that are actually important. What is this devilish old man saying? Is he trying to pull a fast one, where the longer we fart around with irrelevant questions, the sooner the doors will blast open, and both of us will be killed? Or does he have an even more sinister plan than that? I voiced my concerns in action, tugging Cyrus' jacket and giving him a look. Look and tug as I might, though, he refuses to consider me. Whatever. My movements broke his concentration. Now he's taking a minute to recollect his thoughts. I take the opportunity to speak in his stead. All right, wait a second. Cyrus groans and shakes his head, clenching his fist and teeth. Winter. I mostly ignore him. What should it matter whether you're alone or guarded or whatever? Couldn't you be lying, and they're in fact waiting behind the door for us? There's no one waiting. Well, even if that were true, then wouldn't it suggest, in your expectation and aloneness, that you were seeking a, well, certain kind of situation? What situation's that? Like, you know, a murder. That's enough, Winter. Okay, fine. There's not going to be any murder here. We both look at Barnaby, who looks dull. Even if that seems to be what someone here wants. Look, I don't know what you suggest. Quiet, alright? The implications here are really rubbing me the wrong way. Planned martyrdom? I don't even want to think about that shit. Well, you were going to make him a martyr anyway. Martyr. What's it matter whether or not he expected as much? Now listen, that's all I'm asking. Don't argue, don't make any sarcastic comments. In fact, don't talk unless I give you the go-ahead. If you do, I might have to shoot your legs or something, and I very much doubt you'd like that. Are we clear? Barnaby nods. Hey, that's wonderful. Okay, I want, and this is the only thing, I want your word that you won't launch that nuke. The President regards my mentor with confusion and a touch of disbelief. You may respond. That's just not how this works. I can't give you my word when my country will only suffer in turn. The lives of Gabrians over Brightons is not something I can accept. Are you dense? I don't just want your word for the Gabrians. I want it for the Brightons. Us Brightons. You two are Brightons? Yes! Barnaby descends into peals of laughter. I, on the other hand, am just bewildered by Cyrus's ability to lie so quickly. You expect me to believe that one of my citizens would threaten me over the lives of our oppressors? Yes! I'm sorry, that's just too ridiculous. Are you fucking retarded? Do you think Gabriel would even think of wasting resources to kill you? You think they even care? Even if you do fire on them, they'll just take it as a chance to dominate us completely again. They'll ravage us. Don't you get it? You're asking for a war. You're about to take on one of the world's military giants with a bomb and a ragged army. This decision did not come easily. I don't want to do this. Then find some other way. There is no other way. You, as anyone else, should understand that. I have tried every other way. We have bent and knelt, nose to the floor, for Gabriel for over a century, and do you see where it's gotten us? It hurts me to see my people celebrating the increase of minimum wage when I know damn well that Gabriel is laughing at us for the joke that it is. This is the one advantage over Gabriel we've ever had, a weapon incomparable to anything in their arsenal, in anybody's arsenal. I am not about to waste that. The options are exhausted. I gave them an ultimatum, and I swear to you that we're ready for that. We alone can't take on the forces of Gabriel, even with the funding they gave us. We are not alone. Looking flustered, Barnaby palms his face. The adults fall silent. Cyrus glances at me in quick bursts, his expression growing increasingly concerned. If what we both heard is right, Barnaby is suggesting that Brighton has friends. You allied with Ferdia. Barnaby pants, clearly unused to breaking face. It's only temporary. You can't believe that. We had no other choice. We couldn't fund the research on our own. That doesn't matter. Don't you realize? We can trust them. They understand us. Ferdia will stomp on us into dust once this is over. We'll have to deal with that as it comes. Once more, they fall silent. This just changes everything. How could he have gone and done that? To what leagues of desperation has this nation fallen? Barnaby, sweating, finally speaks again. I'm sorry. Crap almighty. What are we going to do now? With this, Gabriel really isn't a threat at all. Those powerful weapons. And that vicious nation's backing? Gabriel is screwed. A hopelessness settles into me as I realize how out of control the situation has become with one revelation. It looks now that no matter what, there will be killings. Then you ask for a military to keep Gabriel out of suspicion. Yes. Kill two birds with one stone that way, huh? Yes. Cyrus shakes his head as though the ridiculousness of the situation is simply too much to take. He drops his gun arm, signifying his relinquishment. President Barnaby? He looks at me like he forgot I was in the room. I probably don't need to tell you how much you've ruined ruined us. You're going to initiate an absolute slaughter this way, and at the end of the day, Ferdia will just slaughter us too. I understand your desperation, but I think you don't give Gabriel enough credit. Both pairs of eyes are now on me, and I feel very pressured to speak convincingly. It really is now or never. It's certainly hard living the way we do. My dad works almost constantly, and we really do always have to worry about things like this. Or things like starving and all that. You've really got to remember, though, that you're about to bite the hand that feeds us. They gave us an opening, and as much as you think it's a joke, we celebrate it for a reason. I am sure, and I'm positive, that if you were to just keep fighting for us, then maybe we could change more things. So you're his daughter. I nod hesitantly. Barnaby shakes his head in a slower manner, reflective of Cyrus's earlier movement. This is just the strangest thing. Well, do you have anything to suggest, girl? Some option I might have missed? Well, no, I don't. I was sort of just hoping to appeal to his heart. I don't have anything to offer that he hasn't already considered, I bet. Also, what with the mistake of his union with that nation on the border, I am pretty sure there is nothing I can suggest to save this place. Still, he seems to want me to answer. Cyrus isn't stepping in. Is there anything I think he missed? Obviously not talking to Gabriel. Gabriel hasn't responded. We are right then. Gabriel will use Brian's actions to justify a violent reaction. Mercy. What do their people think? Setting aside that they're likely underestimating this country, let us imagine that they knew full well that Brian posed an actual threat. Would they be willing to go to war? To perhaps die? Just to subjugate Brian once again? I mean, didn't Cyrus say that even Brian's people don't want this? Why should those of Gabriel? They aren't even very militaristic. They must believe that Brian isn't nearly as dangerous as it actually is. These nuclear weapons have never existed before, right? Then what Brian needs to do is make Gabriel take them seriously, to inform the public of their abilities. You could always launch it. He raises an eyebrow. I meant somewhere else. Where do you suggest? Somewhere where it wouldn't kill anyone? You want me to fire a warning shot? Yes. Gabriel is probably just waiting for us to attack so they can retaliate and put us on an even tighter leash. So the bomb's still gonna go off. Maybe. However, if they and their people had a demonstration of the destructive power of the bomb, then I think... Barnaby heaves a mighty sigh. Sorry to say, little girl, but that option has already been considered and rejected. Why? We can't afford it. Let us just say that our supply of warheads is limited and that production costs are rather high. What's a warhead? Another name for the bomb. Oh, of course. Even with the funding Friday has given us, we could only make so many. Aside from the monetary costs, the materials are particularly difficult to procure and time-consuming to process. We simply cannot afford to be wasteful. We will need every weapon available for whatever threats could be coming. Gabriel or, I hate to say it, Ferdian. Well, it wouldn't be wasteful. It would be to scare them and avoid this whole thing. I know what you would intend them for, but I'm afraid that, objectively, it would be a waste. If I may interject, we are both surprised that Cyrus still has a voice. The bomb is untested. Practically, if we had done a full-scale test, our cover would have been blown. And there's really never been anything like this before? Pardon me, but I don't follow sciences. That's right. While Gabriel and other nations have tampered with nuclear fusion, it has never been applied to weaponry this successfully. According to our scientists, our largest bomb should be enough to wipe out their capital. Hearing that still makes my head spin. All of Gabriel? Isn't it just a bomb? Not a conventional bomb. Well, it's no wonder Gabriel isn't listening. No one understands what this thing is. Were you just planning on surprising them? How disgusting! The lives we take in our attack would be nothing compared to the losses we have suffered under their rule. No statistics have ever been released, but upwards of 100,000 die every year from poverty in our country. What? To put that in perspective, our nation's population is numbered at 34 million, and an estimated 5 million have been lost in the last 60 years. What? 47% of this nation lives in poverty, and the rest still suffer under pitiful wages. Sacrificing the city of Gabriel in an instant, a mere 3 million, I wouldn't sleep any worse for it. That's stupid! Winter, not now. It is, though. What terrifying numbers, and he wants to raise them? What does that even prove? She's right, though. That is very stupid. Mr. President, stop thinking so little of other lives. Funny you should say that. Gabriel has hurt us, but what will returning the favor accomplish? You're only going to breed more hate. We have a military. We have Ferdia, and as if those weren't enough, it seems we have more than one city-leveling bomb. Reconsider already. Just launch it into the ocean. Let them realize what we're capable of. Anyone would fear the weapons we harbor, and you have no reason not to brandish them. You could spare those 3 million lives. You don't have to sacrifice them to make a point. Even if I did agree, I don't know if I have that kind of power. Oh, please, don't act weak now. Talk with your advisors. Make a new call. And make the Gabrians piss themselves in terror. In the aftermath, I get the feeling they'd be more than willing to talk. Hell, maybe they'll even give us more than we ever asked for. Just give them that chance. I will do what I can, then. Really? The president reaches up and compresses part of his collar between two fingers. Call off the launch for now. We're having a conference. Immediately. This is an executive command from President Jonathan Barnaby. Call X374. It's done. We will reconsider the issue. However, we'll need to make a decision quickly, and if it changes from the one we'd already made, I'm frankly not sure how the Freudians will take it. But we can't allow them to control us. I'm not shedding a master just to take a new one. We should not charge headlong into war, just for slights against us. We should retain our identity as Brightons. Just as you two. Then we're honorary Brightons now? What a badge of shame. Speaking of you two, I'd appreciate if you used whatever way you got in to get out of here. Whatever organization you're part of. Well, I just assumed that you are, but I think it would be best if you remain anonymous. I would agree. Cyrus turns and walks a few steps before stopping to scrutinize the rug. He breaks his gaze from it and calls back to Barnaby. Hey. Yes? Thanks for actually listening to us. Thanks for not shooting me. Watch it. I didn't promise I wouldn't bust any kneecaps. This worries me for a second, but as it turns out, his weapon is already put away. Yay! Well, if nuke goes off, it shouldn't matter, right? With Barnaby's husky laughter in our ears, we shift from the room. This seems to be back where we started. Cyrus stands next to me, still and somber. And I have been playing for a long time. As much as I don't want to, I'm probably going to end this episode here. Yeah. since it's kind of a good spot. And I'm going to continue to the end of the game, or until maybe they launch nuke and then the same things happen. I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little turn of events. I know I did. It makes me kind of sad I chose to follow Cyrus and just murder everybody in the first playthrough, but whatever. I'm WaitWhat, and this was episode, I don't even know what to call this, of Dysfunctional Systems, and I'll be back continuing this right away. Goodbye.